All right, in the U.S., stock index futures signaled a slightly higher open in the morning at around 2:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Dow futures were trading a single point higher and indicated a positive open of more than 21 points. Futures on the S&P 500 and Nasdaq were fractionally higher. Wall Street posted fresh record highs on Friday as stocks continued to rally on the back of an easing of geopolitical risks. On the data front, November's national activity index figures are due out of the U.S. at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. There are no corporate earnings expected today. All right, let's cross over now to Europe, where stocks were mostly lower in the morning as investors sought to take profits into the holiday season following a sustained rally earlier in the month. It's a day before Christmas Eve. Let's see how the day is going in Frankfurt with Orange. Hello, Orange. Good afternoon. So how is trading looking like a day before Christmas Eve?
Well, you know, everybody's in good cheer here, but the market, it really looks a little slow, a little lethargic. It's quite a tepid little picture here. But the DAX is losing slightly, as you said. There is some support from China because China announced today that it would lower import tariffs on more than 850 different types of products, and that can be seen as a sign of hope that things on trade, China-U.S. May improve, although people you talk to here don't expect to see a deal anytime soon.
Let's look at some corporate news. Now, Lufthansa making waves, possible strikes again by cabin crew ahead. What is in store for passengers? How is that affecting the share? Well, Ulrich, if you can hear me, we're talking about Lufthansa and the upcoming, strike. What is in store for the shares?
Well, the share of Lufthansa, it is going down by about 1.7% because the cabin crew are threatening with another strike. They're trying to put pressure on management to arrange a tariff agreement and on employment conditions, very important to them. And of course, also very important to management because there's so much at stake. Lots of uncertainty for passengers. The union has assured that over the Christmas holidays, the 3 days now, Christmas Eve, the first and second day of Christmas, there won't be strikes. But after that, people don't know, and the union won't tell people just until probably a few hours before a strike is set to begin. This increases their leverage in relation to management. Management has done some things to assure, or at least to promise to ensure, that there's more communication, more agreement with the cabin crew and with other staff in the future. They're changing their human resources board member.
All right, Ulrich, we'll leave it at that. And I'm sure you're signing off for the Christmas holiday. So I wish you and your team there in Frankfurt a Merry Christmas. So I look forward to seeing you on the 27th. Enjoy the Christmas. And oil prices were mostly steady today after 3 weeks of gains. Amid optimism, the United States and China were close to signing a trade deal to end the tariff war, with President Donald Trump saying an agreement will be signed very shortly. Brent crude was down 4 cents at $66.10 a barrel in early trade. West Texas Intermediate was also down 4 cents at $60.40 a barrel. The easing of tensions has improved business confidence and boosted the outlook for economic growth and energy demand. And away from those markets there, West Africa's monetary union has agreed with France to rename its CFA franc the ECO and cut off some financial links with Paris that have underpinned the region's common currency since its creation. Under the deal, the ECO will remain pegged to the euro, but the African countries in the bloc won't have to keep 50% of their reserves in the French treasury, and there will no longer be a French representative on the currency union's board.
The changes were announced on Saturday during a visit by French President Emmanuel Macron to the Ivory Coast. Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara called it a historic day for his country and the whole of West Africa.
Je suis heureux d'annoncer I'm happy to announce that, in agreement with the other heads of state of the West African Economic and Monetary Union, we have decided to reform the CFA franc with the three following major changes. Firstly, the renaming of the currency from the CFA franc to the ECO. Secondly, the end of the centralization of 50% of our reserves with the French Treasury and the closing of the operating account. Thirdly, the withdrawal of France's representatives from all deciding and managing organs of the WAEMO.
Under the deal, the currency will be renamed the ECO. While it will remain pegged to the euro, the currency bloc will not have to keep 50% of the reserves in the French Treasury, and there will no longer be a French representative on the union's board. The CFA franc was born in 1945 and at the time stood for French colonies in Africa. This was later changed to African Financial Community in West Africa.
I'm very happy today to be at his side to announce this major historic reform. This reform aims to cross another step together. You mentioned the pillars of it a moment ago, dearest Alassane.
The changes announced on Saturday will only apply to West African form of the currency used in Benin, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Ivory Coast, Mali, Niger, Senegal and Togo, all former French colonies except Guinea-Bissau.
And after the break, we'll look at what this means for trade in the region. To stay with us.